Hello, welcome to our show. My name is Teacher Jaziri and I work for Faster Learning Consulting. At Faster Learning Consulting, we focus on 4 things. We focus on maths, that is mental maths. We focus on reading, we focus on retention, and learning a new language. So in maths, we focus on speed and math shortcuts that helps you do maths very fast, and also to save you time when you're doing maths, especially in schools. For reading, we help learners and students, and also in corporate, we also teach them how to read, to speed read. That means we help kids in school. From primary school, we help them to read 200 words per minute and above, to help them read so fast and to finish curriculum very fast. With retention, we focus mostly on association, linking systems, and pegging, so that whatever the learners have learned, they can retain and they can also recall. For languages, we help learners with skills to learn how to learn a new language very faster, like in 3 months, and you are perfect, and you perfect your grammar. So thank you so much. But for today, we have prepared something for you in mathematics. You will like it. And remember, if you're a parent, you teach your children maths. What we prepared here will help you. I will give you skills and shortcuts on how to teach your kids effectively. And if you have schools, and private schools and public schools, we do workshops and we go to the schools and we offer our services so that to promote and to improve kids and learners' performances. So do not hesitate to look at our website, at Faster Learning Consulting, our website, and give us a call, and also look at our YouTube program. Okay? So for today, I have something special for you, and that is I'm going to show you how to do line multiplication. I chose line multiplication today because it's so special, mostly for our sisters and also for people who like seeing logic behind mathematics. Okay? After that, I will also teach you some complementary multiplication, which I think you will like. But first of all, I have one takeaway before we continue, before I start the main thing. Now, suppose, I imagine that you were in school, yeah? And every time from day one, you were told that 1 plus 1 is 2. You never questioned, and that's what you've been using. So I want us to take this takeaway to be for you, so that even when you're home, if your child says 1 plus 1 is 11, and they can explain it, you will be happy because they can explain it, because it can also be 11, okay? So, watch out. So, I wanted to show you that, as you know, that in mathematics, the digits, or from 0, let's say 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 are the most important numbers, because any number beyond 9 is always just a combination of 2 or more. Yeah? So for our takeaway today, I want you to master and know that 9 is the boss. 9 is the biggest, is the most important number when you're doing a calculation. So for you to like maths, I thought this takeaway would be very effective for you. And therefore, let's find a way. Did you know that any number beyond 9 always adds down to 9? So that we will try to do that with 1 plus 1 and 2 plus 2, and then you will see how this one is, how this one functions. So it's going to be amazing. So for example, if you take an example of 10, and you say 10 subtract the sum of the digits, which is 1 plus 0, so which gives you 1. You realize that you have 9. The same way, if you take 11, subtract the sum of 2, which is 11, like 1 plus 1, you have 2. If you will still get 9. The same way, if you take, let's say if you take 24, okay, and then subtract the sum of the 2 digits, that is 2 plus 4, which is 6. So what you will get here is 18. But you realize that 1 plus 8 still gives you 9. So I wanted to prove to you, I wanted to show you that this is a takeaway that everyone should know. And that therefore brings us to this nice example. Assume you are home and you're teaching your kids and you want to know what, and you ask them what is 1 plus 1. If they say 2, it's fine. If they say 1 plus 1 is 11, it's also fine. Why? Because, like I said, if this child can explain to you that 9, if this child knows that 9 is the main important number, and every number adds down to 9, that would be 1 plus 1, subtract that one, so you still have 9. That means 9 is then the number to prove your answer. And as long as your child can prove this one, 1 plus 1 is equal to 11, 1 plus 1 can also be equal to 2. So that for me was the takeaway. So when you go home, try this with your kids and they will like maths, okay? So that was my takeaway today. Before, after that, I would now want to go to my main objective today, to teach you what we call line multiplication. So let's go to so I will call it line multiplication. I can imagine that most of you are wondering now, what is this line multiplication? This is how I see it. So, in most cases, you may have someone who just doesn't understand how the numbers work. And now you want to make them understand and also see the logic behind numbers and also maths. And since our objective is to make the kids love maths, I wanted to show you this method so that you use this method to impress the kids, and also that the kids use these methods to do their normal works at home, mathematics assignment. And when they capture this, now they have variety. They can use this method or the methods they learn from school. But this, for example, is going to give you a shortcut on, like, it's going to make work easier. So for me, I like it when everything is everything is easier, and also I like shortcuts. I don't like long cuts. So that's why I brought up this method. So how do you present line multiplication, and how do you even present numbers in terms of line? So for example, let's say example, how do you present 12 in line multiplication? For example, this is just like at the beginning. So we will have like one diagonal line to represent the 10 and 2 on this other side to represent the 2. Okay, so comma, that is how we will represent numbers. And then suppose you have then 24. Let me write it right. Suppose you have then 24. How do you represent that one? You're going to have 2 to represent 20, and then 4 this other side. 4, to represent 4. So this is how you represent lines when you want to do multiplication. Okay, so we are going now to go to the next step, where we're going to multiply smaller numbers using line multiplication method. Now, what you have to be keen on is that when you do line multiplication, the most important thing here is that we are counting the point of intersection where these numbers, where the lines are intersect, which makes this method very easy. Another thing is that we also like, or me and our organization and our company, is that we want to help kids love maths and also do maths very fast and beat that time. For example, in KCPE, where they can use then 1 hour 30 minutes. So we do that speed, and that's why we come up with this kind of methods to enrich our students and make things very fast. Okay, so let's go and try the method to apply it. How do you apply line method? By the way, remember that we also do boot camps, and these coming holiday, the first week and the second week of December, we are going to have mental maths boot camp. We are going to have for 5 days. It's going to be intensive, where we just do mental maths. It's going to be intensive from morning from 9 to 4. And we're just going to do mental maths, and then the following week we're going to do retention skills, memory skills. So it's going to be mostly to help people who are also struggling in school, so that next year when they get into school they have good grades. So that's our goal. We want to bring kids to better grades. And like I said, call us and go to our YouTube channels and like us and subscribe. Okay? Yeah. Now, let's now go to line multiplication, and let's see the logic behind. Now, suppose you have example 1 multiplied by 1. So you want to get the answer. So with line multiplication, it's easy. Now, this is what happens. You just have to say, this is 1. You want to multiply by 1. Where is the answer? You get at the point, how many points do we have? Point of intersection. We only have 1 here. So 1 multiplied by 1 becomes 1. Now, suppose you have another example, B. And you are supposed to get what is 2 multiplied by 2. So you want to get an answer. In this case also, we are going to use only like 1, 2. And then, so this is going to be 1 and 2, and then multiply by 1 and 2. Easy method. Again, here we are only focusing now adding, like if you want to show young children how the logic behind maths and numbers is, they want to see that, okay, if I multiply 2 by 2, how many dots, how many intersection points do I have? So you're having here 1, 2, 3, 4. So 2 by 2 gives you then 4. Easy method. And I think for me, I like this way because then I see the logic behind the maths, and I see how numbers relate. And for kids who are struggling with calculation, this could be a nice method. Let's do another one for smaller numbers. I want to give an example with then 3 multiplied by 3, and then we summarize the small numbers. Then we move to bigger numbers, to then 2-digit number and then 3-digit numbers. Okay. So suppose you are given an example now, C. What is 3 multiplied by 3? In this case, what are you going to do? We are going to have 3 vertical lines, and then we are going to multiply by 3 vertical lines. 1, 2, 3. So doing this, the beauty about line multiplication is that the kids have the opportunity to just count. They also learn how to count. So we are actually, our answer now lies on how many points of interceptions we have. So we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we have 9. Nice. So that's how you get 3 multiplied by 3, by counting these dots, and then you are done. Easy mathematics, simple. The best thing about this is like, because we also focus like on mental mathematics, the more you do this, the more you will start seeing, if someone asks you about multiply these numbers, you start seeing the connection and how many interconnections do you have. And that for me is most important. Another very important thing about this method is that you don't have to take a pen. You can take maybe in the fields if you have your child, or if in school you can just take sticks, you know, and then you have like several sticks and put them, like you say, we have 3 sticks, multiply by 3 sticks, and then you cross them and then you count how many dots they have. You can also use spaghetti if you want. So those kind of, just to make it fun. If you're cooking spaghetti, think about it like, oh, a spaghetti sticks, you can also use that platform to teach your child how to do line mathematics. You don't need a pen. Okay? So, I know someone is now doubting, how can we do this now with 2-digit numbers? So assume now you have, someone tells you what is 12 multiplied by 12. Like I said, representation is easy. Now what you're going to do is like, we are going to represent it like this. 1 represent 10, and this other side we are going to have 2. So we have 12. And then we are going to have the first one again, and then down we have 2. Okay? Now this is when mathematics becomes easier. So again, after doing this, your mathematics is done. The next stage is just to count. So what we are going to do, we are going to cycle here. So we're going to have 1, 2. So we have 2. And we're going to cycle here. So 1, 2 points. So we have 2. And then we're going to cycle here also. And then we have only 1. And then we also do here. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 4. Now, the most important thing here when you're doing 2-digit number is that these 2 diagonals, normally you add them, okay? So that you start from here, you will start and say 1, and then 2 plus 2 gives you 4, and then you have 4. That one becomes your answer. So you have 144 as your answer. Easy peasy, you know? I find it really easy, and I find it interesting for me because like this, there's no carry forward. You don't have that stress of carrying forward. You just count stuff, you just count it, and it's from my perspective, it can also be, you can make it with rulers, it can be as clean as you want. Okay? So this method, I find it really nice, and it gives me my work very easy. So let's try a couple of 2-digit numbers and see how this one works again. So let's see another one. So suppose you have then 22 multiplied by, let's say, 31. So as our D. How will we present this one? So we're still going to have like 2 to represent 20, then multiply by, then 22, so 2 this other side. And then we are going to have 3 up here, 1, 2, 3, and then only 1 down. So this one represents 30, and this one represents 1, and then this one represents, so this is how it's represented. Now again, remember that our main goal here is only to add the dots, the points of interception. So here, so then you know, here is 1, 2, so you write 2. Here also, you just write 1, 2, and write that 2. Okay? And then here you also want to count how many points of interception do we have. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you have 6. You write that one, 6. And I bet if you calculate, now you have 3 from our basic mathematics. Now you have 3 multiplied by 2. Here should give you 6. So that's also one way you can also do it. Like if you know the basic mathematics, you can also just do how many lines? 1, 2 multiplied by 1, 2, 3. You know the answer is here 6. Or you can just practically go and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it becomes fun also for kids. It's something that it's authentic, that kids now see how numbers relate, and in this form, just the line multiplication. So what do we do? Finally, what do? We are going to just start from here. We're going to say 6. Then since this is diagonal, we have to add them. So we have 6 plus 2 gives us 8. And in that case, then we have the last one, 2. I believe this is the answer, but because this method gives me always the right answer, I know that the answer here is 682. That, for me, is the method. Now let's try another one. One thing that I also want to I want you to keep in mind is how these numbers function and where we need this kind of multiplication. I personally, from my experience, I realize that when I'm working with numbers that are below 5, then it's not so tedious. So for example, I try to avoid things like, like 92 multiplied by then 80 something, like 87, because this, to have like 9 lines, is just so tedious. So this method is more appropriate when you're doing numbers that are below, like numbers that are below 5, like for example 40 something, 30 something, and also if it's 30, should be around 34, 32, 33, something like that's below 5. So then it's not going to be so tedious. The only thing is that people who love this method, they don't care about those lines. They don't care about that. They like this, they love these methods, and this is all they use for 9, for anything, because it gives them, it's easy, and the only thing they have to do is counting. So to counting the dots, and if that's something they also like, they don't care about how many. But from my point of view, I have so many shortcuts and so many methods that I use. So when I want to choose, I will choose this method for lower numbers, lower than 5. Okay, and that's why if you see from my example, I'm giving something like 22, 31. So that, for example, if you have an E, this example, and we have something like 42 multiplied by, let's say, 24. So let's do this one for the last one for 2 digits. Then we have here to represent 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 multiplied by, so that makes it 42. So this one will be representing 40, and here 2. Okay, and then we have 2, so 1, 2, and then this one represents 20, and then we have 4 down here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So in this case, again, it's the same procedure, okay? And easy. You count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So here gives you 8. Then you go next here, you count 1, 2, 3, 4. So you have 4. Then again you go here and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So you have 16. Now, you can also see that by how many. Like basically, you can also use your basic mathematics knowledge to just know how many lines we have. 1, 2, 3, 4. Multiply by 1, 2, 3, 4 to give you that 16. Okay? So, then you go here and you know that this is 4 times. So this one should give you 8. Anyway, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is how it is. And you remember here is supposed to be 4. I think I didn't mark it. Anyway, so as we continue, in this case now we have here more than 10. and this is going to be 20, okay? So I'm going to start here by saying that our part of our answer in the first digit is going to be 8, so because of this 8. And then we're going to add 16 plus 4, which gives us 20. We're going to have 0, okay? And then we carry 2. So then we have 8 here. 8 plus, so here we have 8 plus 2 gives you 10. Okay, so 1008 should become our answer. So that way you do your calculation, you have a neat work, and you're done. And I think for me, I was in a school, I was teaching the same mathematics in school, and because CBC is still new and everyone doesn't know like how to approach it, I told the kids to use this method. For example, when they were told calculate and show your work, because they have to show their work at the end of it all. And it made a lot of sense to me to tell them you can also show your work like this. You don't have to, because they were more confused. So I told them also show your work like this and just show that you are using this method. I remember I went to another school recently, and they loved this method than any other method I showed them. And finally, I think this method won the cup. Mathematic cup there, and they're trying to use it, and they're using it in their daily calculation. So that's why I found this method very practical. And if you like trying different methods, go for this. The thing is, in our website, if you go to our website, fasterlearningconsulting.co.ke, we have a PDF. You can download this PDF and try to use this method. There are almost like 40 questions. Try yourself, and if at all, write us. We have our contacts there. Write us, and so that we know how did it go and whether you like this method. Apart from that, also, like I said, we have a YouTube channel that we are promoting always, and we are showing all our methods there. We have so many videos there already. You can go and have a look. If you are a maths lover, you can also go there and look at some of the methods we are showing off, so that you use these methods in your school and in your daily activities. And also, like when you go to a supermarket, you want to ensure that the teller, the other person who is at the cashier, is able to give you the right balance, so that you don't leave the cashier point with wrong balance or change or something like this. So that's why we give you this, and this is not only for school people. This is also for the adults, like people, so that you use them in your daily life. Okay, and when you do that, we are going to improve on mathematics, and that's our main goal, to bring our learners and to bring our nation generally to be maths lovers. So mark you, go to our YouTube channel and subscribe, share the video, and also this show, you're going to get more of this kind every time. So make sure that you keep watching this show, and you're going to like it. And also, since we are offering it when the kids are there, let the kids be there, let them watch, and also give them some trials. So go to our website, like I said, and download the PDF and try working with the method that we have here. So it's my pleasure to offer you this method, and I look forward to hearing from you soon. And write us, please. We are there for you. We want to offer everything so that we have good mathematicians in this country. Ultimately, I would want to invite you to our boot camp, our mental maths boot camp that is coming this holiday. Please reach us to us and join us. Bring your kids. We'll teach them mental maths. Let them not stay at home doing nothing. Let's just avoid the boredom that the kids get. Bring them to us. We're going to teach them mental maths. And wherever you are, if you're even far away, we do lessons. We do online lessons on Thursdays and Saturdays. So mental maths, we're going to do it on Thursday, and speed reading, we're doing it on Saturdays. So also enroll with us, like go to our website and book one of us, like book one activity, for example, one course, if it's speed reading or mental maths for learners for primary school or for high school. We're going to teach them how to handle maths differently, like they never saw it before, okay? Yeah, so that is our main goal. We keep in touch and see you in the next show. Yeah, thank you so much and bye.